Okay, so we're up for our Junior Max race. Coming to you live here from Swartkorp's International Kart Circuit, Pretoria West in South Africa.
Jared, final round of a championship, but still more to play for this weekend. How are you going to handle it, and what's the strategy?
Well, it's very tight in the championship, and all we need to do is try win all 4 heats and keep our nose clean.
Charles Visser's got a nice lead, but you know, things can go wrong.
Yeah, no, anything can happen. It's racing, so we just got to do the best we can and hope for the best.
I think it's just to stay focused, because all practice these guys were really fast through every sector, so I'm really hoping I could find some other pace on the track for tomorrow.
You're fortunate you have a ticket to Brazil already.
Yeah.
But big national championship is also something that everybody wants.
Yeah, the national championship is also everything that they want, because people can not only getting the ticket to go to Brazil, but also to getting South African colors in the national championship.
Well, the guys to watch out for: Charles Visser, Jaden Els, Waberski, Kwanda Mukeno, I think qualified first. I'm not sure if Els went quicker now, but it's going to be it's going to be a real tough competition tomorrow, because in one of the practice sessions, the top 10 were within .2. So I think the strategy is to try and get into the front in the beginning, maximize the track, keep a cool head, and then by the end you might have won. So I think that's what we got to try and do. But
the qualifying, I qualified 7th, and I was only 0.097 off pole, so it's incredibly close. If I put down my head for another 2 seconds down the straight, I would have got pole. So that means that it's going to be exciting racing tomorrow, and no one's going to pull away, hopefully.
What is the strategy when it's so tight?
Well, it's close racing, so you want to be aggressive as you can, get to the front as quickly as you can, and hold the front as much as possible.
Well, we all know the pack is very strong, or 7 cars in .1, but we're going to have to see tomorrow what's going to happen, because it's such close racing.
7 guys within 1/10 of a second, and it's you, the Cape Townian, fighting it against most of his Gautengers.
Well, the point is just to keep calm and just to not do risky dives and just to see what happens in front.
Pole position, 7 karts within 0.1 of a second.
Yeah, it was crazy qualifying. Just managed to give that little extra push at the end, which helped me get to first.
Talk to me about you. Championship-wise are out of a running, but you can make it very difficult for a lot of other people.
Yeah, I didn't really come here expecting a championship win. At least hoping for a top 5 at the end of this race, in championship-wise. But tomorrow we're going to give it our best and see what happens.
Visser's qualified at 6th, and Waberski's qualified 10th. So at this stage, if he can just keep his position there, all he needs to do, he's not really too much worried about the win. He's going to keep his position. He's just trying to either finish just ahead of Jared or maybe 1 position lower than him. Then he should be safe for the championship. But as you know, Prince, these guys, all they want to do is win.
Exactly.
It's never but, they don't play safe. They want to go for the win.
100%. So for Carl, it's going to be, for Charlotte, I mean, it's going to be a maintenance job for him, just as they come up at the last of the turns, just before they go down the main straight. Nice and neat and tidy. I think we're getting it right the first time round this time.
Yeah, 15 lapper here. And let's see our guy Kwanda Mukena, number 415 on pole there. And there we go.
And away they go. Someone diving right to the left. Here is Carl getting the whole shot there.
Good start by our leader, Mukena. He got a little bit sideways on the brakes there, but he is in the lead there. And look at the guys jostling for position. Number 463 there, jumping to 2nd place. Joseph Earls from 3rd on the grid. He's got into 2nd there. Prince?
Wow, wonderful start. Nice clean start. No drama at turn 1. But it's going to be close. I mean, there's nothing in it. 0.3 of a second separating 1 to number 9. Akil Albai, also another driver to watch out for. Very aggressive. He does take his chances when he sees them. But Kwanda looks already to be stretching his legs.
Yeah, Kwanda's got about a 2-kart length, but you'll see, it's going to be a lot closer here than we saw in the first race of the day. They look at these guys. You can see their times are closer. They line astern now. They know also it's a 15-lapper. A little bit of defending there on the inside into turn 1. Goes Mukena. So it's Joseph Earls putting the pressure. I'm just trying to see now where was what happened to number 485, Ethan Kutsia. He was 2nd on the grid. So I just want to see. He didn't have the best of starts there, yeah.
And Joseph also is another driver to watch out for. But Kwanda going defensive immediately. He knows he's a dangerous driver. But it looks, by the looks of things, Leon, Wanda's already stretching his legs. Or was it my eyes?
No, but once again, if you can see these guys, the mistake they're making there, second, look at second, he's looking over his shoulder all the time. The guys, it's a little bit too early to fight already.
100%,
That means
100%.
Mandla, look at Kwanda. Kwanda is getting away. Kwanda Mokena is getting away because the guys now, Joseph Earls, he's having to defend, and the guys behind him, they're not working together. They are trying to dive, though. At this stage, if I was them, rather work together. Look, that was better now. The first
There
time,
we
see,
go.
can you see?
Yeah,
they all
they've
stayed
already
on the
closed the
racing
gap
line
immediately.
as they went into turn them. And look there, they're closer up to Kwanda. And that's what you need to do in the early stage of the race, Prince.
And the standings at this point are reflective of qualifying. If you look at it, it's one clean stream of drivers very close together, all within a 0.2 of each other. And there's Wanda. Ooh, Joseph Ol's beautiful overtake down the inside of Wanda over there. He's taking the lead.
Yeah, so
Wanda now
see,
down to
okay.
second already.
That worked out good now for Joseph. Joseph now has taken lead. He says, come on, Kwanda, we need to up the pace here.
Exactly.
So Joseph also has gone into the lead, and now Kwanda's going to feel the pressure behind him, and we're just trying to see who's that man behind him. But look at,
Yeah, he's
Joseph,
got a CRG behind him over there.
little bit of a gap now for Joseph, but yeah, okay, and there's
Wanda
gonna,
has to defend, and it's too late.
and it is actually Ethan. It is Ethan Kutsia there.
Yeah,
so
just did
Ethan
overtake
Kutsia,
there.
number 458, back into second place, and he's going to chase after Joseph Ols.
And I'm willing to bet my last buck that Wanda is going to try to get his own back, possibly at the next right-hander. Let's see if he's close enough. And it didn't go. Whoa! Didn't work out better there
A
for.
little bit of a nudge, and that was number 450. It's number 450.
That looks like Jaden
Jaden Els,
Els, our
Jaden
world
Els, yeah,
champion.
yeah.
Oh my goodness, what happened there? Bit of argy-bargy, you got too close. That's just how close the racing is here, Leon. There's hardly any room for mistakes, especially down the turns, because that's where you could sort of lose your whole race without necessarily having to battle someone.
Yeah, at Prince, you can almost see it's as if the guys, there's a little bit of nervous tension here.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
guys are feeling the heat. It is the last day of the national championship. And I'm just quickly going to the championship points there. Charles Michael Visser, Jared Wabisky, Joseph Olsen, Leighton Fourie is our top four. Kill Alibi in fifth. So, yeah, but that was unfortunate now for number 450, Jaden Els, who had an incident. So, if we can look to every time they come through the bridge there, and just before they hit that right-hander, that's where the guys have been touching it other, maybe a little bit earlier or later in the brakes, as we see another attempt at the overtaking maneuver there.
Yeah, nice defending. Oh my goodness, beautiful overtaking there. Wanda is going to have to try a bit better if he actually wants to get his own back. Maybe think about the long game, perhaps waiting for the main straight where he can get a cleaner overtake. See
So
if he
our
tries
leader
something
now
out.
is Joseph Earls. Joseph Earls actually, she's got a big gap. There's another overtaking
Oi.
maneuver. Yeah. It is number, it's 446.
using-
It's Leighton Fourie. It's Leighton Fourie there,
Beautiful
overtaking there.
Leighton
So Joseph Earls is leading, and we've got our battle here, our eye on the battle for the second place here. The guys have been chopping and changing, but it means that Joseph Earls, number 463, he's just opening up his lead. But also after that incident, the field, there's a bit of a gap in that field.
Exactly. It's going to be interesting to see the battle between Wanda and Leighton, given that they're sort of in similar equipment, both OTK carts. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But it's getting after the first place. I mean, it looks like everyone's bunching up. We've got 4 carts on the trot over there, very close to each other. There's literally nothing in between them. So we'll see what happens at turn 1 this time around. Wanda
Yep.
going defensive, protects his position
So
there.
our leader there, Joseph Earls, he's not really in the championship anymore, but he's
Yeah.
going to go for the win there. But number 458, Ethan Kutsia, I just actually want to. Oh no, Joseph Earls. He is in the championship. I wanted to say he's definitely in the championship.
very much
He's third in the,
comfortable at this point.
He's in the championship third, so he's going to be happy there. I was going to say number 458, Ethan Kutsia. He's a little bit low down in the championship position with the points, but the man that will be happy then is the number 463, Joseph Earls, and it's going to be valuable championship points for him. And then yes, the guys now fighting here for second, third, fourth, and fifth. And we'll see how it affects their championship, Prince.
Yeah, at this point, Joseph Ols very comfortable. It's a vintage Ols performance. I mean, the Western Cape drivers are quite strong in any circuit they go to, which is quite interesting to see. I mean, their dominance is throughout the field in all of the classes, but looking particularly at Junior Max, Joseph Ols very comfortable at the front. He doesn't have much to worry about at this point. He's actually 23 points adrift from the actual leader, Carl Visser there. But I was looking for Jared Wabisky. He is second in the championship, but he's nowhere to be seen in terms of the drama today. He's sitting at around midfield. nothing in the way of drama, nothing in the way of argy-bargy for him. Is keeping it clean or maybe unable to get it out in the front. I'm not sure what's going on with him.
Yeah, we'll have a look, see where he is, but it's Leighton Fourie, number 446 here, and he's going for the overtake.
Down
He's going for the
inside.
second position into turn number 1, and he says, now I'm trying to come through, trying to get the cut back
See if
there.
he can
But I think,
protect it.
I think he's going to
Yeah,
hang on
he's
to
got
it.
it. He's got it. He's
So
cleaned it
number
up.
446, Leighton Fourie, moving into second position there, Prince, and now he's going to try and chase after Joseph Earls. But yeah, it's a fight here for the podium.
Yeah, Coetzee still on Leighton Fourie back though. I think he's going to get his own back coming at the next double right. Let's see if he's close enough to do that. But he does have Kwanda Mokoena on his back, number 4 and 5. Now Leighton Fourie's protected it. Yeah, he's opened up the gap a bit. It's a bit more comfortable for him now.
Yeah, so we've got, it's number 446 is Leighton Fourie, and then we've got, it's Ethan Coetzee, and Kwanda Mokoena still hanging in there, and let's just see the other guys there, 494, Tate Bishop joining this party, and let's just see and then 457 there, 457, Charles Visser. Charles Visser, so our championship leader, hey? Charles Visser, he's hanging in here just to collect some points. So he's in the 6th position there, Prince. So there's a championship leader. Okay, like I said, and I'll tell you what, he will feel comfortable there. Although he's 6 on the road there, he will feel comfortable. He knows he's in front of Jared Wabisky.
And that's all he needs, yeah.
Yeah, his closest rival. So yeah, he won't take too many risks here at this stage.
Yeah, it's a bit. I guess at the front, it's a bit of a battle of egos. The people are really hungry to actually prove themselves and put down a championship challenge. But we've got about 5 laps to go.
Yeah, with 5 laps to go. Okay, Joseph Earls, he's gone in the distance, and we've got almost a 5-way battle here for the podium. And in the back of that battle is our championship leader, Charles Visser, and it's now number 464. What's his name? Our second place going. It's 446. Sorry, yeah, number
That's
446.
Leighton
Leighton Fourie. He's got the second position, and he's trying to. Yeah, so he's going to look. And I'm just hanging me look. Remember, Leighton Fourie also still in the championship running. So he's 4th in the championship running, so he wants to get as many points as he can, Prince.
Yeah, exactly. No wonder he's as aggressive as he is today, but he's really got it cut out for him today. I mean, all the drivers that he's driving with are actually very capable, apart from the CRG that's right behind him, that have Coetzee over there. Wanda is still close by, Mr. Mokoena in the 4 and 5 over there. And you've got Akil Alibai also at the tail of that battle.
There's our leader just quickly gone through. Joseph Earls, number 463. Yeah, as you can see, this race is a much cleaner race than we saw in the first race there as the guys come through underneath the bridge. Then they get into a right-hander. There's a bit of an overtake maneuver. So yeah, that's our championship leader says, okay, I'm going to take it. Yeah, so he's actually playing, he's doing a good race. He's not taking chances, but when the opportunity is there, he's going to take it, Prince.
Exactly, yeah, a mature drive from him. And you can also almost see it in his body language. He's a bit more laid back, whereas other drivers are a bit more tense and sort of wrestling their carts. Mr. Fiss over there knows he's got a good, comfortable lead. He just has to maintain it, and it's a textbook drive from him.
Yeah, like we said, this is one of the only classes where the championship leader is fairly safe. Okay, so remember, it's never over till it's over. But that's why, yes, number 457, he's moved into the 5th position, and it's still a 5-way tussle here for the rest of the podium positions. So around about only 3 laps or so to go. And it's an excellent race. So there's our championship leader, number 457. And just in front of him is number 415. That'll be
Kwanda Mokoena.
Yes,
Man who came in at pole.
Pole man, yeah. So the pole man is dropped down to 4th. But he'll be fairly satisfied. And if I just look at Kwanda Mokoena at this stage, 7th in the championship.
Yeah, he doesn't have much of a challenge for the championship today, does he?
Yeah. Kijk, he obviously would have wanted to put that pole position he had into a better, let's say, pain points position. As the guys are looking over their shoulder, you know when it's the last few laps of the race, Prince, when you see the guys start looking over their shoulders and starting time to protect and defend that position.
And looking at Visser there going up to approach Kwanda, yep, down the inside, that's, how beautiful overtake by Visser on Kwanda. Kwanda couldn't respond to that or defend it. Looked like a bit of cooperation on Kwanda's part. You can see he doesn't really have the pace today. That's Visser nicely done working it up. Maybe he's going for a podium finish.
Yeah, so well done. If you can see now, so Charles Visser will be happy with his setup of his card there. As you can see in the latter start of the race, he's doing well. And if we have a look now, 1 lap to go. 1 lap, it looks like the 1 lap board out, 1 lap to go. But Charles Visser, his card's coming into his own in the latter few laps. But yeah, he needs one more, is it one or two
Yeah,
more
one more position, Leon.
to get to that podium?
Yeah, it looks like he's been playing a bit of chess. He was sort of taking his time and being patient about it. He's mounting his podium challenge at the moment. I think he's going to take on Mr. Kotze over there. He's going to have a bit of entertainment in the next few laps. That's Ethan Kutsia in the 458 CRG. Carl Visser is right on his tail. I think by the time we get to the main straight, we might have seen a bit of action here, because he looks like he's right on Ethan Kutsia's bumper. But Joseph Oels is taking it home, definitely.
Yeah, there comes our leader, Joseph Oels, number 463. He's going to take the victory. Very happy there. 463, Joseph Oels is taking the victory there. And it's going to be good for his championship, how can I say, contention for his championship points.
Now, well done to him. Young man from the Western Cape, performing very well out north in Pretoria. Beautiful bit of action we've seen from Junior Max. Much more mature drive, as expected. I mean, they're a bit older and wiser. Our championship leader, they perform very well. A very calculated challenge from him, working his way up from the back and maintaining a lead ahead of Jared Roberski, which is well done. Well done to Charles Visser. Beautiful.
From the start, we had an okay start. We slotted into second, as we wanted to. Mukena was pulling away, but because of that, I had to make a plan. So I dived him into the corner, and I actually got the position. And all I had to do is what I said yesterday: keep my head cool, maximize the track, don't look back too much, and then you've won your race.
Well, I had a good start. I started 6th. Turn 1 wasn't that bad. I went around on the outside, but then unfortunately they capitalized on my mistake. But otherwise, the race was good. I had good pace, and we'll see what happens in the next race.
Junior Max, it's a 15 lapper. So we've already got, laps are increasing. It's a 15 lapper. Race number 2 for the Junior Max. And there we go. All good. Flag down, and there we go. Good. Oh, a little bit of a nudge there going into turn number 1. Yeah, it's quite tricky on the first lap, Prince, because the guys are coming down to the brake markers. We're just a little bit late. They touched the guy in front of them. But it is number 457. It is Visser leading out, and looks like Leighton Fourie into the second position.
Yeah, Kwanda Mokwena losing out there. He initially had a very good position starting, but he lost out when he went wide. Leon saying that it's a matter of how late they brake and sort of keeping the grip during that time. But Charles Visser already sort of stretching his legs. Leighton Fourie right behind him. If my eyes do not deceive me, that is Akil Alibai in 3rd, and then it's Kwanda Mokwena in 4th. Close racing, we will see here. Jaden Else, is that Jaden Else? I believe, yes it is. Jaden Else right on the tail. No, it is Kutsia actually. It's Ethan Kutsia. He's in 5th. Yeah, that is.
Kwanda Mokwena fell back to 4th, and he's now going to be overtaken as he tried to overtake Minu, but yes, he's down to, that's number 458 on the inside, and that's Ethan Kutsia overtaking Kwanda. So already a lot happening here on the opening 2 laps here. But as you can see, look at those guys now fighting for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th and 7th, but the 2 guys in the front is getting away as a result of that.
Ooh, the midfield battle is going to be epic. Ethan Kutsia taking 2 drivers in the space of 2 turns, but Kwanda Mokwena and Akil Alibai will have answers to that. They're not just going to sit back and let someone overtake them like that. But Charles Visser having a comfortable lead already, significant lead, let me say. I'm going to look at Ethan Kutsia here and see if he can. Okay, he doesn't have anything to defend at the moment, but Akil Alibai is right on the shoulder of Kwanda Mokwena, and there's nothing in it between them. This is vintage Junior Max, because if you just look at from Ethan Kutsia onwards, it's one smooth train of people within really just a hair of each other. There's really nothing in it for them.
Yeah, the guys are line and stern now, but in the front it's Charles Visser from Leighton Fourie, but then Ethan Kutsia now in 3rd, Kwanda Mokwena, Akil Alibai, Joseph Oels, Tate Bishop. But Prince, one thing I wanted to mention is these guys, unfortunately today, the pressure that they'll feel the whole day is all the guys that is in the championship contention. Believe me, you will not be able to get away from that pressure of the championship, because it's basically all or nothing today. It is the last round of the national, as we see Kwanda Mokwena diving on the inside, turn number 1, and pushing the guy in front of him a bit wide. But it's all about the pressure of the championship. So those guys, the guys in the championship hunt, they feel the pressure, but yes, lots of jostling here.
Speaking of the championship hunt, Joseph Oels there getting a nice overtake on Ethan Kutsia just before the bridge. And there he is coming up the hill now. He's got Akil Alibai in his sights, but he's a bit further ahead of him. I was just speaking of people challenging for the championship. Oels is sort of in a comfortable position where Jared Roberski is concerned, for instance. He's a bit further back. He doesn't really have an answer or challenge to Oels. But Joseph Ols is definitely looking at Charles Visser, who has a very comfortable lead at the moment.
Yeah, from a championship point of view, unfortunately for Jared Wabiski, that started this morning second in the championship. But we haven't really mentioned him because he hasn't featured in the top 10, Prince. So unfortunately, I don't know, Jared, if he just couldn't get the setup of his card going on there. I can actually see him now through there in a distinctive yellow. But he's not in the top 10. The top 10 is Charles Visser, Leighton Fourie, Kwanda Mokoena, Akil Alibi, Joseph Ols, Ethan Kutsia, Tate Bishop, Jaden Elst, Daniel Patricia, and Nati Nsimanga.
Yeah, and Jared must be a bit disappointed. I mean, technically this is a home race for him. He would have hoped to sort of, have a better argument, a better challenge, and a better setup, I suppose. And I'm not sure what's really in the situation with him there. Not sure what's troubling him. But looking at the championship contenders, Ols is happy where he is, but looking to get more pace because Visser is so far ahead and comfortable. He doesn't have a battle to. He's sort of defending, I'll say, Leighton Fourie, but Fourie is not going to be throwing everything in it. Do you think maybe Fourie might want to mix things up for Charles Visser at the front? Yeah.
Well, Leighton Fourie still got a shot in the championship, so Leighton Fourie should do all he can. He must look after himself, Prince, and he must go as fast as he can, or as high up in the points as he can. But looking at number 457, the lead now, Charles Visser, but the second place man, number 446, hanging in there. It's Leighton Fourie, yeah. So Leighton Fourie, remember Leighton, Leighton, like I said, Leighton actually needs to get the win, if he wants to do anything about his championship position.
And it looks like he's got Charles' pace too, because there's hardly a distance between them. Perhaps in the last laps, rather, as you know, the race sort of comes to its climax when there's about 4 or 5 laps to go. Not sure how many laps remaining at the moment, but then Leighton Fourie may be lining Charles Visser up for an overtake there. But Akil Alibi on the tail of Kwanda Mokoena, followed by Joseph Ols and Ethan Kutsia.
Yeah, the top two's got a bit of a gap on the third, fourth, fifth, sixth place. So let's just look at the running order as they stand. Charles Visser, Leighton Fourie, Kwanda Mokoena, Akil Alibi, Joseph Ols, Ethan Kutsia, Tate Bishop, Jaden Els, Daniel Patricia, Nati Nsimanga. But look at the top two now as they go there to turn number 2. Here's our third place man, Mokoena, now in third. And but it's all heating up here. 7 laps, and they've got 8 laps to go. Remember, it's a 15-lapper, so it's a slightly longer race from race number 1.
Yeah, it's a significantly longer race. Then that also would affect strategy. So we perhaps won't see for the next 3 to 4 laps any dicing between Leighton Fourie and Charles Visser. Fourie will be sort of biding his time and patient, trying to get as close to Charles' bumper as possible so that when the opportunity does come, I mean, he knows who he's dealing with. This is Charles Visser. He does have a lot of ability. So Leighton, when he does make a challenge, it has to be right and he has to make it stick. So he's definitely biding his time and being very strategic. As with Akil Alibi over there behind Kwanda and Joseph Ols, who follows them.
Yeah, Joseph Ols at this stage in 5th position, and he's running behind Leighton Fourie. In the championship, he's ahead of Leighton. So if he thinks of his championship, that Joseph Ols, he needs to maybe move up a position or 2, because otherwise he might lose out to Leighton Fourie, because I'm sure Leighton that's running second now, he's going to go for that win later, Prince.
Yeah, Ols is in a sitch, because looking at the 2 drivers in front of him, those are tough people to overtake. You don't just, pull an easy move on them. He has a lot of fighting to do. So he does definitely have a lot of pressure on him. But just looking at Charles Visser over there, he and Leighton Fourie are just, let's work together, brother. Let's take our battle elsewhere. They both
at this stage quite clever from Leighton Fourie not to fight too much with Charles. There's still quite a few laps remaining, so Leighton is driving a good race here. Because they've got a bit of a lead. Because remember, if they start fighting too early, it will allow these other guys to come back. We saw it earlier. We see it every time. So there's the overtaking maneuver. There's a bit of an overtaking maneuver now. And it is 4-6.
Yeah, it is Joseph
Ols,
yeah.
remember? Yeah. So like I said, Joseph Ols, he almost has to do it.
Exactly.
Because he needs to get up. So it's a good move there from Ols. And it's all going to happen. I don't know how many laps are left now. It's around about 4 or so. There's another overtaking maneuver. So the guys are starting. We know now there's only 5 or so laps left. Because the guys are now starting to dive each other a lot.
That's true. This is the climax. This is the match, the lighting point of the race. This is where everything gets heated. Jaden Els there coming into shot. I think he's right behind Ethan Kutsia. Jaden Els on Ethan Kutsia. Nice move, keeping it clean. But Ethan Kutsia has the pace and he goes back, takes his position back. But yeah, a bit of dicing between the two CRGs there. Maybe they matched for performance in certain parts of the circuit. But Jaden Else has been significantly quiet. He is a champion. He is a world champion, in fact. And he has been quiet, though, so his performance not exactly reflective of his overall ability today. Hopefully, maybe in the latter heats, he can mount a better challenge.
Yeah, Prince, 4 laps to go now, and it's Visser from Fourie, Mokoena, Joseph Earls up to 4th, Akil Alibi, Tate Bishop, and this is where we'll see now a lot of overtaking from here. And we'll see just now when we get back to the two leaders what is going to happen there. But the guys are now, yeah, they are starting to dive each other. They need every position now. They know it's a latter part of the race. And as we can just see the battle there between these two guys here, we've got number, is it 414 there? Yeah, it's Akil Alibi. That's a battle between Akil Alibi and the guy behind him. They're around about fifth on the road.
No, it's not Kutsia. It is.
Yeah,
get this young man's name.
Yeah, that's Akil Alibi and Tate Bishop.
Haven't mentioned Tate Bishop's name in a while. He's been quiet this race, actually. But he's still in the top 6. But he's a name to look out for. I mean, he's not a softie. He's a hard driver. He's an aggressive driver as well. He does have the pace. But I guess today also, looking at also the championship standings, he's not exactly, right up there with the boys.
Yeah, there's almost 3 or 4 distinctive groups of 2. They're 2 by 2 now.
Exactly.
So they split up a little bit. And okay, with only around about 3 laps to go, let's see what's happening here in the front now. I think there's our 2 leaders. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is our 2 leaders. So it is Charles Visser still leading. And I don't know if Leighton Fourie has got the pace now. So, because if he's got anything, he needs to do it now.
He's better.
2 laps to go only. So Charles Visser looking pretty there, Prince. But yes, there's Leighton having a look now. So Leighton now, maybe he's left it for the last 2 laps. Maybe it's going to be a last, all or nothing effort.
Yeah, Leighton's got to keep his cool now because it all has to play. He has to about 3 laps to actually cement his victory. Now I wonder if he's going to build it up to turn 1 or take him in the earlier. No, you can't. Charles is a tough driver. He's not going to give him the gaps that he wants. His best chance, that is Leighton Fourie, his best chance would be down at turn 1. Let's see if he's able to, because he has made a gap, so he is building up his pace. Let's see if there's a move in it for Leighton.
Yeah, 1 lap to go. Shaw looking over his shoulder a little bit. He knows yet. Leighton might come with a challenge now. But yeah, he's just got around about a 1 kart length gap. So unless Leighton's going to do a very late braking maneuver, I'm not sure. So Shaw Visser, but he is feeling it because he's looking over his shoulder. And at least, they actually didn't fight each other too much and let the other guys come in. But let's see Charles Visser, if he can grab this win, it's going to be very good for his championship.
Yeah, 100%. And just looking at Joseph Earls, who can smell a podium. He can literally smell it, but he's just out of reach at the moment. And looking at it's the last few turns of this race, actually. And Charles Visser out in the lead ahead of Leighton Fourie. In 3rd place, we have, Kwanda Mokoena. There's Charles Visser, fists up in the air. Well done to him. Clean race from him.
Yeah, Charles Visser taking the victory from Leighton. I reckon Leighton sort of settled for 2nd there and just, but it's also good for his championship. But it is Charles Visser from Leighton Fourie, Kwanda Mokoena 3rd, Joseph Earls 4th, not too bad for him. Akil Alibi, Tate Bishop, Jaden Else, Ethan Kutsia, Daniel Patricia, Nati Msimanga. And once again, unfortunately, Jared Wabowski not featuring in the top 10. So his championship, you can say, aspirations are almost gone.
Well, we can't say it's finished yet. It's a tough weekend today, but more or less just managed to task for the last heat, and that's where it's all going to come to play.
Yeah, mostly the race was all about, once I got to the 2nd place, all I needed was 2nd place for the championship. So there was no need for me and Charles to fight, so we just managed our tyres for the last heat, so we didn't overcook them.
But we'll keep an eye on that Joseph Earls Leighton Fourie fight. And as you can see there, his number, Joseph Earls is on pole. He's got the inside berth. And as the guys come through, flag is down, start of the race, and there we go.
Yes. Diving on the inside there, but he didn't make it stick. Joseph Earls still has the lead ahead of Kwanda Mokoena.
There's a bit of a coming together.
Was that Jaden Else? He is livid wherever he is.
Was it then the mid to backpack guys came together there?
Yeah.
That was you will be livid. Yes, it's number 450. Mm-hmm. Like you said, the guys, it's a Jaden Else, and they will be livid because it's a 20-lap race. Just a bit of a signal there from
Did you see that?
The man in 2nd saying, easy does it.
Let's work together.
Yes.
We're taking his hand off the steering at such that's a lot of skill. It takes a lot of skill to do that. But we've got
Earls has got a bit of a gap.
Still in the lead here. Fisser's
And we've
still
got
in
Leighton
fourth.
Fourie second.
Yep.
Fourie second. So that's that championship fight that we're having a look there. Yeah. Earls from Fourie, Mokoena and Visser. Yeah, Visser, but remember, Visser won't take any unnecessary chances. But it's interesting now, Joseph Earls and Leighton Fourie, although Fourie, yeah, if Visser finishes here, Prince, in the top 5, he's got the championship. So but he mustn't be too cautious, because remember the guys behind him, they're not going to do any favors. So
100%.
he's still, at this stage, he's not safe, because look there, he's got guys close behind him.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. And Ethan Kitsia is going to look to irritate him a bit if he's slow enough to be close to Kitsia, because there's going to be a bit of a battle, obviously, in front of Visser in the form of Wanda Mokoena and Leighton Fourie. But there's Visser riding away very quickly past Wanda Mokoena. Now he's right behind Leighton Fourie.
Like a true champion.
Exactly.
He knows he's not just going to sit there. He's going to go for it. Like I said, he'll even try for the win.
Yeah.
But good stuff. Now he's a top 3 in the championship, but it's Earls, Fourie and Visser in front. Earls got a bit of a gap, but if they work together, they can, remember, a lot of laps here. Plenty laps, so they can get it back.
Yeah, 20 laps is a long time, but perhaps Visser will be looking to just stay safe where he is right now. But he has the option, he has the pace to actually go out and battle. It's a matter of him making a decision at a crucial point, and also the race can go any direction. You don't quite yet know how it's going to finish. So we'll see how he decides to sort of secure his championship.
Yeah, so running order quickly on lap number 4. Joseph Earls, Leighton Fourie, Charles Visser, Kwanda Mokoena, Ethan Coetzee, Joseph Ellerin, Daniel Patrici, Nati Msimanga, Tate Bishop and Jared Waberski. First time we actually see him in the top 10. But his aspirations is long gone. It will go a long way for Joseph Earls here if he can get this victory to maybe securing the second place, Prince. Although it's still a long way in this race to go, but that's what Joseph Earls will be aiming for.
Yeah, he's probably, right now I think he's settling into a sort of long endurance mode, because he's probably seen the gap by now that he has. He knows that Visser has an obstacle in the form of Leighton Fourie. So he's got a bit of time to sort of establish himself and get as much pace as possible and stay out of trouble. The name of the game right now is stay out of trouble for a lot of the drivers, more especially Charles Visser. But for people like Earls and Fourie who are battling for second and third in the championship, there's still a lot of fighting to do. Now,
although Visser is actually, he's very close to Leighton Fourie. Visser, believe me, if he can get a spot, he'll go for it. If he can get that chance, yeah, he's close on his tail there. Okay, Earls is not getting away, but he's got a bit of a gap. And I don't think if Fourie can go faster. No, Visser, if he can get the gap, he'll go. I don't think it's too much longer. He's actually going to go for it shortly. Remember, he'd actually like to get the win here. He's got the pace. We saw him. He's had the pace earlier to go for the win. So, yeah, if Fourie can't close that gap on Earls, Visser will make that change, or he'll make that move. He'll go past. They're not too far behind now. Look at. So I won't say the leader's getting away. It's about 2 or 3 kart lengths there. Yeah? So at this stage, Visser's trying to push Fourie up to Earls, but otherwise, look at him now. See, he's a bit quicker for me here. There, like I said. He decided. No, it's time to go. That's a good move. And it's also Leighton Fourie, not too bad for him. Leighton Fourie can now just jump in behind him and try and get dragged up to Earls, so it works 2 ways. Now, if you're not fast enough, use the pace in front now. Use a bit of slipstream. Just hang on. And I promise you, they will close that gap there to Earls.
And Earls, without a doubt, has, Visser, my mistake, has that pace that you need to actually catch up to Earls. But we'll see how Leighton sort of responds, if he's gonna let Visser go ahead or sort of push up close to him. But at this point, Visser proves that he has the pace, so it's sort of a no-brainer at this point. But I'm trying to get a view of Ethan Coetzee and Wanda Mokoena here. If there's a bit of a battle brewing with them, they're not too far off from each other. Just as Visser secures his gap and lead over Fourie.
Yeah, we'll try and have a look now to see is Visser closing that gap on Earls. And at this stage, Leighton Fourie is hanging on there. So he's hanging on all he can. Believe me, he will now do all he can. And for me, visibly, the gap still looks basically the same. It hasn't closed. But look at Visser now. You can see he's determined. He's putting the head down there, trying to get less drag there down that straight. So, yeah. Good turn number 1 now. I'm sure you'll see slowly but surely. There, okay, depending on the camera angle. But we'll see slowly but surely. They're getting a little bit closer there. And Earls also. Earls will just keep the concentration up. Earls is driving a good race at this stage, but Visser's chasing after him, and Leighton Fourie in third place hanging on. And that's all he can do at this stage.
Fourie has to claw his way up. He has to really be right on Visser's bumper, because once Visser makes a move on Earls, it's going to open a door up for Fourie that may not open again, because Earls can defend if he needs to the rest of the race. Matter of fact, he's not going to allow Fourie any breathing room or give him any gap, because he knows the cost, the championship position is at stake at this point.
Yeah, and if Leighton Fourie wants to have any say about maybe getting up to second in the championship, he has to finish.
Bishop down the inside of, I have no idea who. That was Daniela Patrizia. Tate Bishop, really nice move there, turn one. Sorry to
No problem. Just saying he has to try and finish in front of Earls. But yeah, no, lots of action through the mid-pack here as we go through the mid-pack with the running order on lap number 9 here. So not even halfway. It is Joseph Earls, Charles Visser, Leighton Fourie, Ethan Coetzee, Kwanda Mokoena down to 5th now, Joseph Ellerin, Tate Bishop, Daniel Patrici, Nati Nsimanga, and Jared Waburski now in the 10th position.
Nati Nsimanga has Patrizzi in view at the moment. There may be a battle in the trailing 4 over there. The 3 drivers behind Tate Bishop, they have a bit of a battle brewing. So we'll see if that gives us any drama for the time being, because that's where it seems like you have the closest racing, because at the front they're a bit subdued. There's a lot more calculation happening in the way they're driving. But we'll see how that pans out. Jared Waburski having a lonely time. He has nobody next to him at the moment. But he's in 10th position behind Natim Simanga by some gap.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I quickly had to look at the lap times there. Visser is lapping faster than the leader, Earls there. Yeah, okay, Prince, for us, remember from the outside, remember you used the word subdued there. Looks like they're settling in, believe it, these guys are giving it their all, you know that.
Of course.
Oh, there's a bit of a nudge and a bit of a touch there. What's happening there?
That was Fourie and Earls. Oh, the drama's already begun, Leon. I told you, man. It's already begun, and Earls, I don't know how, but he's lost his lead to Visser.
Yeah, Visser's got the lead. So yeah, we were watching them, but Visser's in the front now. But it must have been a mistake there by Earls. But now we've got those 2 guys, the second and third guys. Yeah, it's 4:46. Leighton Fourie is in front of Earls, so Earls must have made a mistake, or maybe when Visser came close. But here we go. It's Visser, and it's definitely Fourie now in front of Earls.
Yeah.
Yes, as they come through. Halfway through this race, only starting the second half. So yes, it is hotting up here, believe me. But yeah, we missed it there. But Charles Visser, look at him, he got past easy. So it must have been, I can only say, a mistake from Earls there.
Yeah, it had to be. And it's just as I said, Fourie had to take advantage of the door that was open. When Visser went through, he had to go through as well. Otherwise, he was not going to get that opportunity. Now he's just got to stick with Visser, because clearly you could sort of stick with him and match his pace when they were catching up to Earls. Now to get past Earls, we'll see if we can actually, open a gap against him.
But now it's going to be a very good fight, yeah, for second and third.
Yeah,
remember, that's second and third in the championship. And Leighton Fourie, he has to stay second there, has to stay in front of Earls there, just to make that battle still interesting, coming into the last heat later. Visser's going to be happy, that's where he wants to be, and he will be deserved. Also wins. Lap number 12, there's still 8 to go. Remember, second half of this slightly longer race, that's where tyre wear and so forth can come into play. Prince.
Late braking there from Earls. I don't know if you saw that, but he is hot on Fourie's wheels. Let's see if something is looming here at the approaching turn. They're still a bit far for diving down the inside, but in the sections that are approaching, I think there's definitely going to be something coming from Earls. He's within reach at the moment. If you look, there's nothing in it. And if you look at the lap time,
there he goes. Yeah.
There you go.
Good. That's also overtaking maneuver there. Good stuff. Yeah, I remember. But it shows you how quickly it does change. Earlier he was leading, and I won't say comfortably, but he had a lead and everything, and maybe one mistake, and then you can fall back. But okay, Earls got good pace. Now it's all about Leighton Fourie. Yeah, but look at him. Yes, he's coming.
Down the inside
Believe
too.
me, it's going to be a ding-dong battle.
Oh my goodness.
But look at him. While they're battling, look at it. Coming up, the guys behind them. And we've seen it the whole day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Coetzee's right behind them. And now if Fourie loses out at the next turn, if Earls happens to go past him, he is in danger of actually being caught by Coetzee.
Yeah, there
as
they
it
go.
happens,
So it's
now
a big
he has to
ding-dong
be,
battle.
there you go. There's Coetzee right there putting his name up. So he has to be very careful of Coetzee, because Coetzee could actually overtake him at any point, and then he's in big trouble because Earls is going to run away with it.
Yeah, but it's good racing, yeah, except for our leader now that's gone. But these guys, they're playing for their positions. But yes, the guys are chopping and changing. Ethan Coetzee joining the party, and even behind him we'll see, I think it's Mokoena. Yes, it's Mokoena there. So it's a four-way tussle now, yeah, for the podium. And while these guys are worrying about their championship, oh, Mokoena dives there on the inside of Ethan. Well done there in turn number 1. But look at these guys already. Now, there's 6 laps left, and there's a little bit of defending already. So, believe me, this battle is going to be interesting. Prince.
You've never seen defensive driving so early on. This is usually the point where everyone gets so aggressive. But that's Mokoena making a beautiful move down the inside. Now, he's right behind Ols.
Yeah, Leighton Fourie all the way back to 5th now.
Yeah,
so it happens, yeah. But look at it now. There's a lot more guys joining this sport here.
Exactly.
And it happens here. It just shows you. But go-kart racing is great. And you stay on the racing line, but as soon as you start fighting, and it brings the guys behind you into play.
100%.
So it's not only 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, but the 6th. Oh, as Kwanda Mokoena goes for a move on the inside. Yes, there's going to be.
Place.
And the guys are getting their elbows out here, but yes, Mokoena now, it's changing up the championship, the 2nd and 3rd place champ. But look at these guys. Soon we'll have 6 guys there, maybe 7, even 8. Look at them. We've got now 6 guys, and could be 8 guys fighting for that 2nd, Prince.
Oh, sideways over there. It was
Yes.
Kutsia touching
Yes.
Ols. Wanda managed to escape better off than everyone else. He's opened his gap a bit more.
This changes everything, Prince. This
jeez.
changes. But yeah, it's good racing, and it's going to happen.
Yeah, Fourie lost out big time. Fourie lost out 5 places.
Yeah.
He must be.
Leighton Fourie, the big loser, then he can't afford it in his fight. But Joseph Ols is still 2nd. Let's just see as they go. Okay, actually, Kwanda Mokoena, Ols 3rd. As they go across the line now, 4 laps to go. But it's Visser, Mokoena, Ols, Ethan Kutsia, Patrici, Leighton Fourie down to 6. So he lost quite a few positions now. He's got it all to do. But yes, maybe they started fighting each other a bit early, but it's great racing, Prince. Good to see.
And it's like we were saying in the beginning, how the mid-pack or the guys sort of after the podium, they're not going to let the top 3 get away with it. They're not going to give them an easy battle or be lenient on them. I mean, for instance, Fourie right now is in the middle of a lot of trouble because he's got a very quick, a respectably quick Ethan Kutsia ahead of him. And he needs to pass Ols, and to do that he has to pass Kutsia, and also there's potential of him being caught by the drivers behind him. I think that's Patrizi and Tate Bishop.
Yeah,
Tate
3
Bishop
laps to
making
go.
a
3
move.
laps to go. Look at
Tate
the guys.
Bishop on the inside of Patrizi. Well done. That was clean. Bit of space there.
Leighton back up to 5th. So Leighton's fighting back there. Kwanda Mokoena still in 2nd. Ols is 3rd. Ethan Kutsia for Leighton Fourie 5th. So yes, Leighton needs to get still. He's still, even if he can just finish 1 position behind Ols, then it's all to play for in the last race. Now for that 2nd and 3rd in the championship.
It's going to be gloves off there.
In the meantime, our leader, Visser, and quickest man on the track, no one's got to answer to him, but it's a great fight here for the podium, Prince.
Yeah,
the rest of the podium, I say.
It's not an M3 out at the front of these carts. It's actually Visser. He's just very fast. He's got the pace. He's got the talent. And he's just going to keep it clean to secure his championship. But Visser, a bit of diving there with Ols. We expected that. Well done by Fourie. Well done. I think he's going to go defensive at this point. Well done. Now he's back ahead of Ols, ahead of Ethan Kutsia as well. Now Ols is lost out. So now they've switched completely around. Where Fourie was is now where Ols is sitting. It's as if it's a bit of karma. I don't know how they managed to do this, but
also,
such close racing.
I just want to see, but where's Mokoena? Is Kwanda still? He was 2nd.
Mokoena's still in 2nd. Mokoena's still sitting pretty in 2nd ahead of... Wait a minute. Is that? There he is. There's Mokoena over there, sitting 2nd. And he's ahead of Fourie and Kutsia and Ols. There you go.
Let's just see as they cross the start-finish line, they're starting the last lap. Yeah, it's Visser from Mokoena, Leighton Fourie, Ethan Kutsia, Joseph Ols. Yeah, Joseph. Leighton will be happy. That was a big mix-up.
Bit of a bump there.
Leighton in 3rd position now. That is what he needs for his championship fight with Ols there. So Ols is down to 5th. It's all about this last lap. And yes, with all these guys in the mix here, it's a big fight, Prince.
Oh, it's gonna be a tight, very, very, very close finish. But Visser over here, here's the
Yes.
champion himself in the glistening white. The gold trim helmet over there. He's driven perfectly. I think he just went over the curb there. Did you see a bit of he went airborne? I think celebrating very
There
early,
we
but
go.
well
Visser
done to the
coming up.
champion there.
Yes, that's Visser. That's Visser. And that should be the championship. Very happy. And let's just see what's going to happen there with the rest of the podium battle.
Oh,
okay,
man.
okay, as they go, yes, obviously we're looking at our championship. Charles Visser there, but the new champion, Charles Visser. Kwanda Mokoena, Leighton Fourie in 3rd. 4th, Ethan Kutsia. 5th, Joseph Ols. Okay, so good stuff. Visser we know is taking the championship now, but there's a good turn up there. Joseph Ols and Leighton Fourie, they're still going to fight out.
Yeah, there's still a
that
fight
2nd
there,
and 3rd place in the championship's not over, Prince, so we still got something to play with in the last race. But well done to Charles Visser, our winner.
Well, we can presume that it's won the championship, but still one lead left, still a fantastic day of racing, and we'll see what happened in the last heat.
Yeah, once Shoal got past us, I tried to work with Shoal to catch Joey, and we did. And then once Shoal got past Joey, I tried to get past Joey, and he defended, and we're all fighting like a load, and then the group caught up to us. And then it was a whole mess, and then, yeah, we had to use our mind to get through the field and got third.
The supporters are getting very excited, and as per usual, yeah, they're supporting their rider or driver, and yeah, good family support always, and that's what you want to see. Okay, so 20 lap, a long race, lots to play for. And away we go. And first of all, looking at Michelle just on the start to see who's a little bit of a touch. I know Kwanda Mokoena on the outside there got touched. Oh, he had to come in.
Oh,
but let's see who's got the second place there. That is
Kutsia.
It's Ethan Kutsia, yeah. Ethan into second.
And we've got, I think that is Fourie in third, and Kwanda in fourth, Ulls following in fifth.
Yeah, a little bit of touching there into turn number one. And that meant, just look, that meant Charles Visser could get away. Ethan Kutsia in second place. But let's see if we can see where's Ulls and Fourie now.
Ulls is right behind Tate Bishop and Kwanda Mokoena, so he's at 1, 2, 3, a long way off, actually. So he's got a bit of a battle ahead of him.
Can you see? Let's see where number 446 is. Is he?
Yep, he's in sixth.
Yeah, he's third.
Position.
No, he's third.
Oh, that is Leighton Fourie, yes.
Yeah.
Leighton Fourie is in third, yes.
So it's Charles Visser from Ethan Kutsia, Leighton Fourie third, Kwanda Mokoena, Tate Bishop, Joseph Ulls. Joseph Ulls dropped one down there. Okay, so Leighton in third and Joseph Ulls in sixth. So Ulls has got all the work to do. Number 463, Joseph Ulls, he's got the work. Charles Visser's got a good lead in the front. So we're going to keep that eye on that battle. So Ulls will have to get past Tate Bishop and Kwanda as soon as he can, Prince.
Yeah, the man to watch out for our viewers and our Facebook viewers out there is Joseph Ulls. He has a battle ahead of him. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got the likes of Tate Bishop and Kwanda Mokoena ahead of him before he can even smell the podium. And once he gets past those two, he's got one Leighton Fourie to beat. He's the man he's really looking out for, because Charles Visser's championship is sort of secured. But he wants to get ahead of Leighton Fourie and secure his second place in the championship. We'll see how his race pans out for him, but you get a shot there of the man in all white. Charles Visser, sort of symbolic of his level of comfort today in white and gold. There's the champion to be crowned, leading the race at the moment.
Luckily for Ulls, it is a 20-lap race.
Yep.
And all he has to do, remember, 100%. Don't panic yet. Put your head down, do your consistent laps, and try and just pick them off one by one. He's not too far away from Fourie there. And yeah, it is a 20-lap race, like we said. So there is time. There's enough time. But at this stage, we've got, it's a 446. Fourie is in second. Yes. Fourie's gone up to second. So yeah, Fourie's doing what he needs to do. He's gone up to second. So Visser from Fourie, Ethan Kutsia, Kwanda Mokoena, Tate Bishop, also still in sixth. So yeah, at this stage, looking good for Fourie then, for his championship aspirations to get that second. He's doing what he needs to do. And yes, so Ulls has got a lot of work to do now, Prince.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. And now, the thing is that we make constant reference to the fact that it's 20 laps. It is a long time to be there. But the state of mind the driver has to be in for him to complete that 20 laps efficiently, it varies. I mean, it could be a matter of maintenance for the likes of Visser. It's a matter of don't get beaten by the likes of Fourie. It's a matter of I need to get ahead, the likes of Ulls. So it depends on the scenario. Now, with the person like Ulls, right now it's difficult for him, or let me not say it's difficult, because I think he's at the level where he can focus and concentrate. But his task at hand, his challenge, is to remain in the zone, they'll call it. They call it the zone. He has to be very focused and keep his lines clean and do the job that's ahead of him. He has to focus on the next apex. He doesn't have to focus on what's going to happen at the end. He's looking at the next apex and seeing how well he actually executes.
If you look there, Prince, I mean, from second, which is Fourie, 2-6 Ulls, they are still, it is one train. But what Ulls can't afford is for Kwanda Mokoena and Tate Bishop to fight each other too much. Because then they're going to
slow them down.
That'll mean Leighton Fourie will get away. 100%. He needs them to just stay in their zone and keep up with Fourie. And then later, in the latter part. But Ulls is just battling. He's just off that train there. And he needs to just stick there. He needs to stay there. Because if he stays there, and someone can then maybe try to overtaking maneuver on Fourie, that'll help him later. So this train, as far as he's concerned, he needs to just stay on the back of that train, and the guys mustn't let Leighton Fourie get away. But Charles Visser is leading from Fourie. And 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 very close to each other there. Yeah, as far as the lead is concerned, Earls hasn't got a chance there. Our leader's getting away. But what Earls trying to do here is to get Leighton. We know that the leader, no one's going to catch a leader now, and he's got the championship. So Charles Visser, he's clearing off. And Earls, yes, I don't know. I don't think he's pacing himself. He's trying as hard as he can, but he needs to stick with that train. It's all about Earls. It's all about Earls and Leighton Fourie in a fight for second and third in the championship. But Leighton Fourie, he's doing what he needs to do. He's in second there. Maybe can't catch Charles Visser, but he's just doing his lap times and he's trying to maintain his second position. Earls has just put in his fastest lap time of the day. As we see the lap times there, let's have a look. See Charles Visser 44.2, Leighton Fourie 44.3, Ethan Kuse 44.3, Mokoena 44.2, Earls 44.3. So it is close. It's just a tenth here and there. But remember, even you can't afford to lose a tenth on this track.
No, not
either.
At all. Not in that train.
But we can see Earls is trying hard, and Leighton Fourie is actually doing a good, consistent lap times. Leighton Fourie slightly faster than our leader. Last time out, fastest man on the track was Kwanda Mokoena. So he was the fastest last lap out. So it's a real battle there from second to sixth, Prince.
You can see the advantage of being in someone's toe. Kwanda setting the fastest lap for this race thus far is due to the fact that he's following Ethan Kutsia very hotly. And I wonder if he's going to go down the inside at this point. Is it too early, Mr. Mokoena, for such battles? But nice overtake anyway. Tate Bishop also taking advantage, is saying anything Kwanda can do, he can do as well. We'll see what they do under the bridge there, but nothing going. Ethan Kutsia doesn't have a response so far, but Joseph Earls, my mistake. This is where he's like, okay, he needs to hurry up, and hurry up he does. Past Ethan Kutsia, beautiful move, because you can see he can't afford to fall behind with these battles. He's just losing pace.
Because what Earls saw there, those guys fighting each other, it just meant that they're in second place. Leighton Fourie, look there. No one's fighting him. Exactly. No one's slowing him down. Exactly. It almost looks like Fourie has closed the gap slightly to our leader.
It does look like that.
Slightly. No, not that much, but let's have a look-see there. Charles Visser. No, he's up this pace again. But Charles Visser, Leighton Fourie, Kwanda Mokoena, Tate Bishop, Joseph Earls in fifth now. Yes, he has to. Earls need to get up now. It's time. We're almost halfway in this race. Now we're in lap number 10 of 20. It's going to be halfway. But if you've got anything left, or if you're in the reserve, it's time to bring it out now.
Yeah, if you've seen what happens during a fire drill, you've seen how busy a fire station is during a fire drill, that's what's happening in Earls' mind right now. But he has to work to control that. He has to minimize that and stay focused on, as I said, one apex at a time, and actually be on pace and on par with the guys ahead of him. At the moment, he's looking at Tate Bishop and Kwanda Mokoena, hoping probably for a battle between those two for them to come together. But things have sort of opened up between the top five, and it's not as close as it was.
There's a few card lengths between all of them, and that's a problem for Earls, because Earls is saying, guys, Charles Visser just put in a very fast lap time there.
Look how even they are. All of them on one. 44-1.
Yeah, they're actually going quicker as the race is progressing. Exactly. The guys. So it's time to push now. Maybe they've said, okay, they looked after the tires the first half. Now it's time to push. But the problem for Earls is Prince. He says no one is there to hamper for Leighton Fourie or to slow him down. No one's there to put a dive on him and slow him down. That's his problem.
Yeah, neither does he have a toe. He's not close enough for someone to sort of pull him forward where pace is concerned. And he hasn't exactly made things uncomfortable for the guys out in front of him. So I suppose he perhaps doesn't have the pace that he wants, that he ideally would need to actually go ahead and catch Fourie, because Fourie is just having a blast as far as he's concerned, because he knows the main contender that he has to deal with is out of the picture at the moment, as things stand.
Yeah, Leighton Fourie, he's got a good chance of taking second away in the championship from Earls.
Exactly.
Our leader now, championship winner, Charles Michael Visser. Yeah, he's comfortable in the front, and his championship is in the bag there. But it's all about Earls. Earls will not be happy if he's going to concede the second position in the championship to Leighton Fourie. So Leighton Fourie, that's why Leighton, although remember he's not saying, I don't want to win this race. He's doing everything he can. But that second is worst case scenario for him. And that'll mean, we'll still have to wait for the final results. But it looks like if Leighton Fourie can finish second, ahead of Earls, that he will take the second away in the championship.
Yeah, without a doubt. Kwanda Mokoena on the tail of Leighton Fourie there. The gap still maintaining. It hasn't gotten closer. Although the races have actually gotten quicker, which makes sense. So it is natural to see that the gaps aren't actually getting closer. But if you look at the pace, they actually progressing. They sort of reached their peak performance where times are concerned. As we've watched their progress throughout the day, I mean, we've seen the track is sort of at its hottest, so you have the most grip. So the kart is actually responding its best. Also coming from my experience with F400s in 4 strokes, this is where you really want to be in terms of racing. But again, looking at the times, they're still in the ones. The top 3 still in the 44 ones. Tate Bishop just missing out with a 44.2. Joseph Oels just entered the ones as well. The quickest one, might I add. So the quickest man on track right now actually is Joseph Oels.
Yeah, last lap out.
Exactly.
Okay. Yes, but Prince, okay, they're doing 44.1, so the guys they're sort of at the limit. I don't think they can go faster than that. You'll see maybe from here, because from lap number 15, the tires will actually go off a bit.
Exactly.
So, but it just shows you that from lap number 10, they decided we're going, flat ball, putting it at flat cap, as fast as they can go. So the first 10 laps, they were still looking a little bit off
calculating,
the clock.
yeah.
But from lap number 10, it's going, and they know it will fall off later as the tires do go off in a 20-lap race, and it is as hot as this. But yeah, the guys are just not close enough to each other to make a difference.
No,
okay?
yeah.
You know,
it's quite a wide gap.
it's still Visser from Fourie there. Is it Mokoena in there? Is he still in there? Or
Yeah, still in third, right behind.
Yeah, let's have a look just quickly at the top 10. Charles Visser, Leighton Fourie, Kwanda Mokoena, Tate Bishop, Joseph Oels in 5th, Ethan Coetzee, Jaden Els, Akil Alibi, haven't mentioned his name too many times today, Nati Misamanga, and Daniel Patrici. But yes, you can see now the times are falling off slightly, but they're still doing very well to do 44 once. With next time out, they're on lap number 15. It's going to be 5 laps to go now. And it's okay, if you've got anything left, believe me, it's now. So believe me, the guys, not that they haven't tried, but now they really need to try.
Yeah.
And I can see is it the 4th place man there closing a little
like
bit.
Tate Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop closing slightly into Mokoena there. So the guys, remember, at this stage, they don't think. Okay, Leighton Fourie just put in a very quick lap time of 44.0. So he's Leighton Fourie. He's going to give it a last cause. Maybe he's going to try and go for that win.
Exactly.
So yeah, the guys, if he's get any sniff now, basically he wants to get a position. It's not about the championship per se anymore, but it's now getting. I want to now go forward. I want to pass someone. I want to finish as high as up. It's actually, they usually say it's all about the win. Winning is everything. So let's have a look. See here. Yeah. So actually, I'm amazed that the lap times are still this good, Prince. So maybe those guys really reserved everything for the last 10 laps. But they're still doing one. Look there, Leighton Fourie did a 44.093, which is some of the fastest laps today here in this race. But with 4 laps to go, it is first from Leighton Fourie, but Fourie very quick last time out. Kwanda Mokoena, Tate Bishop, yeah, they all, look there, Joseph Oels, Ethan Coetzee, up to Ethan Coetzee, all doing 44 once. So, yeah, I thought one of the times would drop off slightly, but they're not. So it shows you, these guys, the tires are lasting good, shows you their setup is good, and the tires are lasting. The guys just can't get to the guy in front of him.
That's the only thing. They're so evenly matched at this point.
They just can't get close enough for a move. You know, it's just 1 or 2 kart lengths there. Visser looks almost comfortable in the front there. Leighton Fourie, I mean, trying hard. He did put his quickest lap of the race in, but he can't close that gap. And then it looks like number 3, 4, 5, and 6 is edging slightly closer. You know, it's going to take a mistake here from someone for someone to catch the one in front of him now.
Yeah, and you mentioned setup there briefly. With my background in being a mechanic, I got to see some of the dynamics that actually go into setting up a kart for a short stint race, so 15 or 10 to 15 laps or 15 to 20 laps. With 20 laps, they're going to want to mix fuel and oil a bit more richly. So that the ignition sort of is richer and stronger and lasts the engine longer. So your peak performance is going to come out a bit later on in the race, which is around this point. Hence, we're seeing quicker lap times because the way the fuel and oil ignites in the cylinder is actually designed for that specific purpose. Whereas with shorter races, you're getting a much leaner mixture, so the setup also leans to that side. So at the moment, hence that's why you see also the gap between them is not that different. They're all sort of staying in the same window. They're all in the same sort of setup scenario. They have pretty much the same equipment, which sort of nods to the quality of the class and that it keeps things very competitive for everyone.
Prince, yes, from an engine point of view, yes, but if you just think then maybe, the way the chassis the way the chassis is handling.
Also,
because
definitely, yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying, if we look, because I thought by now maybe the tires would, but the tires have lasted wonderfully as we've got one lap to go now. But I mean, the consistent lap times he's going, and look there, Tate Bishop and a 44.0. So some of the guys, they still to put in these lap times. That's great stuff. It just shows you.
Without a doubt. And Ethan Coetzee also putting in a 44.0 there.
Yeah, so the guys are still, I'm just saying, so the setup for the chassis, it means the tires didn't just go off,
Exactly,
like fall
yeah.
off the wall, as we call it there. But last lap here, let's have a look, see. No big change in order, but it is going to be Charles Visser. Visser's going to come around. He's going to be happy, like little brother, also to take the win. He's taking the win and the championship, both hands in the air. Visser there from Leighton Fourie, but let's run through it. Visser from Leighton Fourie, Kwanda Mokoena, Tate Bishop, Joseph Earls could only manage fifth, Ethan Coetzee, Akil Alibi, Jaden Els, Nati Msimanga, and Daniel Patrici. Well done to these guys. That's a championship there, and I think so maybe just a chance for second and third. And that was your junior max.
It's a very emotional experience. Won my second SA title, but as I can say, I would like to take Road Tax and Roger and EMR Racing for just making a series possible.
And tell us, are you excited about that trip to Brazil?
I've never been to Brazil, but I told my dad this is probably the only time we're going to go to Brazil, but we'll see. We're looking forward.